Brought to you by Penguin.
Blackout by Chris Ryan. Read by Tyler Butterworth. April the 20th. Night. The air was warm and humid, carrying the faint smell of the wild irises that dotted the hillside. Josh Harding lifted the Russian-built AN-30 rifle to his shoulder. His eyes narrowed as he concentrated his energy into the thin crosshairs of the gun sight. The man in those sights was about 30, with a black, wispy beard. There were only a tiny handful of people in the world you could assassinate with no doubts, no regrets. Khalid Azim, one of the top 5 al-Qaeda leaders, was one of them. A movement. 2 men, both heavily armed, stepped forward, tracking Azim's steps as he went back inside the tent. "Bugger it," muttered Josh. "Lost him." He let the gun drop to his side. Ashfaq Dusmunshi moved across. "We'll still get him." Josh nodded. For 3 months he'd been tracing both Azim and Osama bin Laden through the border region, where al-Qaeda still had its most loyal supporters, and where its leaders returned to retrain and re-equip themselves. Since joining the regiment 5 years ago, he'd been on some tough assignments. Bosnia, Afghanistan, Gulf too. But this was the toughest of the lot. Seconded to the firm's specialist anti-terrorist unit, he'd been sent out here to the Afghanistan-Pakistan borders to track down and execute any al-Qaeda leaders he could find. "We'll need help," said Josh. "I'll speak to base." Ashfaq nodded. The pair had been together for 3 months now. Josh knew Ashfaq was only doing this for the $500 a day he was being paid, but a decade of soldiering had taught Josh that mercenaries were as good as any other men on the battlefield. As long as a man knew how to hold his weapon and play for the team, Josh was never going to question his motives. Josh picked up the satellite phone and punched through the call. "What do you want, Harding?" said Mark Bruton. The base camp was at Coast, about 80 miles back along the border. It served as HQ for the British and American soldiers who'd been in the country since it was invaded 2 years ago. "We found Azim," said Josh. "I need some backup to take him out." "What's your position?" Josh read out the GPS coordinates. "Stay where you are, Harding," said Bruton. "I'll send in a cruise to blow the camp, then send along a Black Hawk to pick you up. Got that?" Josh gripped the side of the Motorola 9500 sat phone. "I've spent 3 months tracking this man," he snapped. "I can't wait for a missile strike. All I need is some guys in a chopper and we can go in and get him." Even at this distance, Josh could feel Bruton's annoyance. "No bloody medals on this one, Harding. We're using missiles. Now hold your sodding ground and wait for the big boys. Got it?" Josh fed the coordinates of the position back to base, then lay down on the hard, pebbled ground. "Take the sleep when you can get it," he told himself. "You never know when the chance'll come again." At 2:15, he woke and sat up. He placed the AN-30 to his shoulder, using its telescopic sights to scan the camp. He could see a man moving around. Were they preparing to leave, or just changing the night guard? He punched the number into the Motorola. "Where are they?" "Couple of glitches," said Bruton. "We're having to send one in from an American sub in the Indian Ocean. Might be a bit of a delay." Josh snapped the phone shut, lay back down and tried to sleep some more. Sleep wouldn't come. He was burning with anger. 3 months I've spent tracking these bastards through this wilderness, and now that I've finally tracked one of them down, they're going to let him slip from my grasp. 3:25. More movement in the camp. The guard was drawing water from the barrels strapped onto one of the trucks. For washing, thought Josh. That meant they'd be leaving soon. "There isn't much longer left," he snapped into the phone. "Relax," said Bruton. "The missiles are airborne and the chopper's on the way. Get ready to evacuate." Josh started pacing, walking around in smaller and smaller circles. "Did you hear something?" he whispered towards Ashfaq. The Afghan nodded. "A starter motor. The white truck. It's leaving." Josh saw a man climb into the passenger side, another into the driver's chair. The engine fired and the truck started to move down the mountainside. "The bastard's escaping."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?